Hello YouTube. I'm just making this video to confess that I am the one that originally made Thunderfoot's information public, and I want to tell you why I did it. Okay, what happened was I was actually a subscriber of Thunderfoot, and I didn't dislike him and I didn't like him. I was curious about him, because when people hide their identity, I get curious about why. Sometimes I'm wondering maybe he worked at McDonald's, or whether he was really a scientist like he claimed. So, in the past, I have doc-dropped many people, so many I can't even remember them all, so it's kind of a hobby. Usually I've only done it to people that have rubbed me the wrong way online, like a troll or something, but once in a while I do it to someone that hasn't actually done anything to me personally, and this was the case of Thunderfoot. I knew that he was a well-known person, and I was curious about him, so I noticed one day that he put, well, this is how I did it, I'll explain this. He put a donation link to his PayPal on his YouTube account, and sometimes people put their contact information on their PayPal, so I tried to access this. This is all public, anyone can do this, so it wasn't anything, I didn't illegally access anything, I just looked for the contact information associated with his PayPal account. Anyway, I did not find, I didn't find his address. I don't remember if I got his name either. It might have said Phil, I don't know. But it did say his email address. So what I did was I took that email address, and then I did a search on Facebook for the email address. And then I came across his Facebook account, and I said Phil Mason on it. So, but I didn't see any pictures. So, yeah, I needed the pictures to prove that it was him. Usually, when you doc-drop someone, in fact, I think this has always been the case. They'll always deny that it's really them. It's like instinct. I don't think I've ever had a time where someone admitted that it was them. So what I like to do before I actually doc-drop someone is find as much proof as possible that this person is who I say they are. So I spent at least 2 weeks. I know I spent at least 2 weeks making a video. I called it Thunderfoot Exposed, and try to get as much proof as possible. First, I found a video of him typing on a Google search, and his university came up. His license plate on his vehicle showed for like a second on one of his videos. I zoomed in on it and showed his license plate. I did a lot of Google search. I found out what university he was at. I showed that in the video. Anything I could possibly find. It's been a while. This happened back in January of 2011, so I can't quite remember it all. I do have the video around. I could look at the video again. The video was like 13 to 15 minutes. Anyway, what happened after I made this video was, first I tried to tell a few people that I knew didn't like him, like Richard the Coffin. He was in a live video conference chat thing on his YouTube. I went in there and I told the chat room, I know who Thunderfoot is, thinking that people would care, but no one seemed to care. All they did was they kept banning me from their chat room. So I think I tried a few other places. They didn't care either. So what I did was Spent 2 weeks trying to find his information, and no one seemed to care, and then I kind of lost interest. So what I did was I put this video showing all of Thunderfoot's information as a video response to one of Richard DeCoffin's other videos, I think, talking about Thunderfoot. And no one really paid attention to the video. I think months went by, no one really looked at it. All his information was out there in the video reply, but no one was even looking at the video reply. And then maybe some months later, someone saw it that cared, and this person told Dawa Films about it, and then eventually in October, Darwa used the information to his advantage, and I thought he did a really good job. I thought contacting the employer, I don't think I would have gone that far, but that's just me. I don't want to take things too far, unless I'm sure they can't track me. But in this case, they actually did track me down. The FBI was able to catch up with me, and I got a visit from them. I tried to explain that I was just kidding around, and he asked me why I tried to find his information, and I just explained everyone wants to know who he is, and I was just curious about him, so I found his information and posted it. Well, I didn't say I posted it. I didn't say that part. So I kept that part to myself. Anyway, the FBI wanted to seize my computer, and I told them, first he just asked. They were actually visiting me without a warrant, so I knew that much. I told them, no, you can't have the computer. So he left, and I had already confessed to finding his information. I didn't deny that. Thunderfoot knew I had his information, so he was basically threatening me back, saying he'd dock drop me. Which wouldn't really accomplish anything. No one on YouTube knows who I am. Even if you found out who I was, it wouldn't matter. You'd just be like, who's this guy? I never heard of him. So it doesn't really pay to dock drop someone that in a community like YouTube where no one's ever heard of me. I am a well-known person, just not so much on YouTube. And I've been dock dropped myself a few times, so I know what that's like. Eventually, everybody, if you piss people off on the internet long enough, you're gonna get your information out there eventually. So it's not, I think I brought it on many years before it should have been, just because I've dock dropped many, many people. So I knew what I was doing, and I'm very, very persistent. I don't give up. So I just did not give up on finding his information until I had everything I could possibly find. So anyway, back to the FBI. I was, apparently this wasn't a big deal enough for them to press charges, because threatening to release someone's information isn't much of a threat. It's just someone's, I didn't even have his address, so I wasn't able to get that. I think I had some possible addresses. Yeah, that's what I did. I went to some of these public information sites, and I tried to find his address. I don't know if those were his addresses or not. It's been a while since I've looked at that video, so I'm not sure. But anyway, let's see. Can't remember where. Yeah, okay, anyway, yes, I was a subscriber of Thunderfoot's. I am actually an atheist. though I had nothing personally against Thunderfoot, he's never talked to me ever except when I found his information. Briefly, he talked to me, but I had nothing personal against him. It was just kind of like sport. You know someone doesn't want to be found, and that's all the more reason I had to find him. I think people aren't as rude once they know their personal information is out there, because at that point they know there are consequences to things that they say. They're not gonna push things to the limit like they would when they're anonymous on the internet. So anyway, that's the story. That's how his information got out. With just a guy, Thunderfoot's. If he wouldn't have posted the donation link, begging for money from people, then I probably wouldn't have wasted my time. Once I saw that link to the donations, asking for donations, just kind of a red flag in my mind went off. I'm like, wow, you could probably a decent shot of finding out who this guy is if you really want to take the time. And I thought, oh, why not? I got nothing to do today anyway. So that's pretty much how it went down. I wasn't out for blood or anything. I really didn't think anyone cared. I just dropped the video and moved on. And 6 months later, the FBI came to my door. And I guess it wasn't a big deal. Releasing someone's information just doesn't qualify as a threat. I don't think so. I don't think it qualifies. There's nothing in the I don't think there's any laws that say like do this or else I'll release your information. It's not like you have a right to have that kept secret. You shouldn't assume that that's a right. I think when I was worried about this being escalated to legal, legally courts, like invasion of privacy, that kind of thing, I did a lot of research on the laws. So I was ready for a court fight if I had to defend myself. I think I could have made a good argument that what I was threatening wasn't much of a threat. I mean, so what if someone knows your personal information? In the real world, that's not a big deal. You look up someone in the phone book, and there's their information. I think people people expect to be unknown when they're on the internet, and in reality, they're not guaranteed a right to having their identity private, unless you're a minor. Anyway. I think if I would have accessed Thunderfoot's information through like maybe hacking or something like that, where I was able to get the information through a way that wasn't public. Everything I did, the way I found his information, was all public. Mostly a lot of persistent Google searches. Watching his videos, I didn't go anywhere that wasn't publicly available. So I don't think he could have claimed invasion of privacy, because I think the exception to that is if the information's public. If it is obtained through public means, then it's not invasion of privacy. I think the only thing that I was worried about was I'm not going to talk about that.